devastating news, I would say, but I don't think it was unexpected given the time period of the season. Caitlin Clark announced on her social media that she will miss the rest of the season. She captioned it in short, in part, "I had hoped to share a better update, but I will not be returning to play this season. I spent hours in the gym every day with a singular goal of getting back out there. Disappointed isn't a big enough word to describe how I am feeling." She was limited to 13 games this season.
This is wild. Candace Parker just dropped a truth bomb the WNBA never wanted aired out. Caitlin Clark being shut down for the year? That's not just bad news for Indiana. That's a full-blown catastrophe for the entire league. And now the whispers are getting louder. What if Clark walks away for good? That's not paranoia. That's the nightmare scenario. Because if Clark quit tomorrow, the WNBA wouldn't just stumble, it would collapse. 2 years into her career, sidelined with nagging groin and leg injuries, Clark's frustration is obvious. Fans can hear it in her words, read it in her tone. This isn't just a lost season. This is pressure, neglect, and a league that refused to protect the very player keeping it alive.
13 games this season, and she hasn't played since July 15th when she suffered a right groin injury in the final minute of the Fever's win versus the Sun right before the All-Star game.
I mean, that's our girl. That's our girl. And I feel like no matter what happened, you have to protect you.
Enter Candace Parker, a legend who knows the grind better than anyone. And she didn't sugarcoat a thing. Parker flat out said Clark made the right call shutting it down. She admitted she ignored injuries late in her own career, tried to push through, and paid the price. Her message was crystal clear. Don't let the league bully you into sacrificing your future. Don't repeat my mistakes. Protect your body first. That's not just advice. That's a warning from someone who's lived it.
Anything, and I feel like her just kind of having that approach of doing what's best for her is all we can ask for, because we'd rather Caitlin sit out and then come back next season and we're ready to roll and we're ready to rock. And so we've just been supporting her and she's been supporting us. She's always there. We're getting to watch film and she's in there walking through saying, "Hey," and we're like, get out, go do what you need to do. But I mean, she's still the same. And I feel like our approach, because we've been missing her for so long, is just to come in and compete. And we have a good rhythm, I think, with everyone that's came in. And so just keeping that as our main.
But here's the bigger picture. This isn't just about Clark's health. It's about the WNBA's future dangling by a thread. Every major metric, ticket sales, TV ratings, jersey numbers, skyrocketed because of her. She didn't just elevate Indiana. She dragged the entire league into relevance. And now their golden ticket is sitting courtside in sweats while executives scramble. The terrifying question? What if Clark says, "I'm done"? What if she decides her body and her future are worth more than wrecking herself for a league that refused to blow the whistle when she was being mauled on the court? The fallout would be nuclear. Fans didn't show up for the WNBA brand. They showed up for her. Take her away, and the arena's empty overnight. Back to half-full gyms, back to irrelevance. And the worst part? This was avoidable. The league let her get hacked, shoved, and elbowed while the refs swallowed whistles. They called it physical play. Now their golden goose is gone. Bravo, WNBA. Brilliant.
That they were hopeful that Clark would return by the end of the regular season, but Caitlin was unable to fully reincorporate back into practice. And, she had never missed a game in her collegiate career or first year in the WNBA. So this is definitely a blow, I'm sure, for the organization, but also for her. Fever went 8-5 when Clark played and 15-15 without her. You all did win the Commissioner's Cup for the first time in franchise history without her. So maybe that is also another precursor. But big picture from the outside looking in, I have been a player that has had a number.
And Parker sees it clearly. Playoff basketball isn't just tough, it's brutal. Faster, harder, nastier. The worst possible time to rush a star back. You don't bring a Ferrari into a demolition derby, but that's exactly what the WNBA wanted. Clark limping through games just to squeeze ratings. That's not leadership, that's desperation. But here's the twist. Clark knows she has the power. She doesn't need the WNBA. The WNBA needs her. She could quit tomorrow and step into broadcasting, endorsements, overseas ball, or even launch her own brand. Meanwhile, The league has spent decades as a charity case propped up by the NBA. And yet one player, barely in her second season, did more for its growth than all the commissioners' speeches combined. That's why the Clark could leave talk feels so real. Fans are already saying it. If Clark's not playing, I'm not watching. Their loyalty isn't to the WNBA. It's to her. And if she walks, they walk too. That's not just regret. That's instant regret.
There is a difference in being a role player and coming in and playing a role and coming in off of an injury. There is a rhythm. But when you are Caitlin Clark and you have the ball in your hands and you are on the other team's scouting report, to come in half and not be able to be in that amount of, I would say, rhythm of the game, because the rhythm of the game changes towards the end of the year. And so when it started getting closer to the end of the regular season, I was like, it's dangerous to come back during playoff basketball because the whole flow, the physicality, all of that is different. And so I know it's difficult to kind of take time and understand the big picture, especially when you're living with tunnel vision and you've worked so hard to get to where you're at, but it's the smart thing. And I'm proud of this generation for taking the time they need, looking at the bigger picture, and making sure that they get healthy. So, Caitlin Clark, hope you feel better. You have a great off season, and
Candace Parker deserves credit for saying what needed to be said. She wasn't just advising Caitlin Clark. She was calling out the WNBA. Stop running players into the ground. Stop rushing them back. Clark isn't a role player. She's the star everyone game plans for. If she's not healthy, she shouldn't be out there. Parker praised Clark for realizing that truth early. But this isn't only about health, it's about trust. Clark gave everything to rehab, grinding for hours, but when it came time for thanks, she mentioned only fans and teammates. Not the league, not the refs, not leadership. That silence speaks volumes. And it's why talk of Clark leaving the WNBA isn't far-fetched. If she walked away, other leagues would line up with better pay, lighter schedules, and real respect. Or she could leave pro ball entirely and build a media empire bigger than the WNBA itself. Meanwhile, the league would be left watching the superstar it failed to protect thrive elsewhere. This isn't new. Players have long complained about salaries, travel, and officiating. Clark's rise masked those problems for a while, but her injury ripped the curtain down. Fans saw the truth. The WNBA hasn't changed. Parker knows it firsthand. She once pushed through injuries and paid the price. Now, she's warning Clark not to make the same mistake. Her message? Don't trust the league to protect you. Protect yourself. And Clark did. Despite pressure from media, sponsors, and playoff hype, she said no. She chose her future over the league's desperation. That decision proved she values herself more than the WNBA does. Fans see it, too. They filled arenas, bought tickets months out, and now they're asking the question the league dreads. If Clark isn't playing, why should I watch? That's the nightmare. Because unlike past stars, Clark isn't just another face of the league. She is the league. If she walks, ratings collapse, arenas empty, sponsors panic, and the WNBA's superstar era ends overnight. Candace Parker's voice made it clear. Clark was right to protect herself. And if the WNBA doesn't wake up, it won't just lose its biggest player. It will lose its entire future.